Hi YouTube. I created a program called Dragon Scraper, and essentially what this program does is you'd basically put in a URL or website address, whatever you want to call it, into this text box, and you would select, whatever image you want to take from that website, whatever format. It'll basically go to a website. It'll take all the images from it and save it to a folder, which it'll create a folder called Collections automatically on your desktop. It'll also save the HTML code and to a text file, and it will also display it in this box all at the same time. It's pretty effective, and you can select whatever one that you want to pick as we get going. I'm using regex in this, which is pretty potent. It's nice to have. You're going to see right here that I have picture boxes. If I were to go through here and just right click on this, these picture boxes are just named picture box 1 and 2. The button here is called seeker. This one is called clear. When you go up and you rename it, you're going to go here under data bindings name, and that's how you're going to do that. The text box is called URL host. Each one of these check boxes are also named. You'll always see the data binding names because it'll be right here. So as I'm clicking each one, you can see it says TIFF, GIF. That's what you're going to name these. And this is just a text box one. And it has a scroll bar that I added to it, which you can go right here. If you were to click on this little scroll bar, you could just tell it to hit go vertical, and that's what you would want. I'm going to close this out now. And going through this code. So basically this is going to create the folder collections on your desktop if it doesn't exist. If it's already there, it won't bother. It's doing the same thing with the file, which is going to be called source.txt, which will have your HTML code in. And this is loading the pictures into the picture boxes. I always use this method because I had issues going into resources. Like if you were to go into your projects here and you go into resources and you add them, I've had issues with Visual Studios, these more recent ones, not saving them when I start the program back up, and it's not even creating a folder over here that says resources. And so I just started creating my own called images, and I'm using the location at domain current domain base directory. And to do that, you'd basically go here and you'd right click and you'd just go to add and go new folder, and then you'd name it whatever. Mine's images, and then you can go into that folder, right click on it and just go to add and go to existing item, and that's how you would, you'd go to wherever you have images and add it to that. And you would just, properly name them as you go. Like I have face.jpg. So anyway, this is going down using a function, and it has an integer that's going through for the HTML web request. And it's going to go through and stream, get response stream. So get going, you're going to see that I start having my regex going. And all this looks kind of strange. It basically searches for a string like CRC, and SRC, I mean. It'll basically go through and search for any GIF, PNG, JPG, whatever format you want, basically. And it's going through and it's doing a trim start and a trim end. I can get into explaining how all that works in another video. It'd take a lot of time to go through and actually explain how the whole process works right now, but I did leave little comments in here. If it is full URL, then it creates a new web request and it goes through and combines. If it's not the full URL, then combine will give an URL with this image path and get rid of any these slashes as they are, as you can see. But I've left some examples anyway. It'll be easier for me to explain to you in another video. And we're going down through here. This is that button that you see right here. And this is going through and saying, hey, if PNG is checked, then we're going to get PNG, if GIF, so on and so forth. This is just here. You don't have to have this in your code. I have it here because normally this would have gone right here, but I decided to use my text box. That way you can use it universally instead of having to go in here and change it every time. You're just basically putting your URL here, and then just makes things a lot simpler. This is doing a web request, and it's basically collecting all that HTML code, and then it's going to shoot it into the text box after it's saved for you to read. And this is going through on a form closing with garbage collection and wait for pending finalizers. Basically, it reallocates your memory and disposes whatnot. You're going to want to go through, when you see these here, you're going to want to go through and just double click on each one of these as you go, and just add them there. They'll be empty inside, but the event needs to be there for you to use these up in here. I tried doing it without it, and for some reason it was just giving me issues. I don't know why. But anyway, if you want to clear whatever's checked here, you just hit clear settings and it will uncheck all these for you. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and fire this beast up and show you what it does. So as we get going, I'm just going to move this over here. You can already see that it's created a folder and it's created a, empty source basically. And I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and I'm going to go ahead and go to this website, which I have here, and I'm just going to hit Control-C to copy this URL. And as you can see all these images here, and these are the images that we are going to be targeting. And I'm going to go ahead and put that code here, and I'm going to tell it to get it as a PNG, and I'm going to hit Get 'em. And it's going to take a moment for this to process, so please be patient. It'll start filling this folder up, as you can see, and it is spitting out all the HTML code from that website right here. And that file will also have the HTML code in it. So basically, if I were to go back up here, you can see the beginning of your HTML as we get going. There are ways, if you want to get the CSS and the JavaScript in this, you can hit Control Shift and I, and it will pull up your elements. And this is, this is all your JS. You'd go in here and you just basically click in here, and you would, hit Control A and then Control C, and you would copy all of it. That's how that works. And then you can take it and put it into a text file. You're basically going in doing the same thing here with all the CSS. So we can close this out. Another way you can access this is just right click on here and go down to Inspect Element. And you would go here, but you're not going to be able to right click onto, like if you're in Elements, you're not going to be able to copy all this. You'll be able to copy a line, but for some reason it's a pain in the ass going that route. So you basically go here and snag whatever you want. But we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to close this out now. And we're going to go look at this folder. And as you can see, we have a lot of things. And we have your source file that has all that HTML code, which you can see is very effective. You just got to be patient with the program when it's, it takes 4 or 5 seconds for it to process all the images, because it is using a lot of computer's resources when you are doing something like this. So, especially if you're getting like, a couple hundred images, it could very well take the program 10 to 15 seconds to process all that. So just be patient with it, but it will work, and, that's how this program works. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and of you guys have any ideas, any programs you want designed, you let me know, and I will do my best to create the program for you. I'm pretty good at doing that. You guys have a good night.